The Great Gatsby, which is widely considered to be F. Scott Fitzgerald's magnum opus, centers around Jay Gatsby, a millionaire with an obsession for beautiful former debutante Daisy Buchanan, who's, by the way, already married. There's a particular scene about halfway through the novel in which Gatsby and Daisy meet again for the first time in 5 years, so this is a pretty big thing for Gatsby. It's actually paramount to the entire plot, and it goes like this.
Gatsby comes over next door to Nick Carraway's house, aka Daisy's cousin, to see Daisy. Now, for the past half-decade, he has relished every thought of her, saving newspaper clippings, creepily standing in the dark and staring at her house. So, Nick helps a bro out and invites Daisy over for tea. Meanwhile, she has zero idea that Gatsby will be there. Once she arrives, Gatsby is all flustered and frazzled. He's unbelievably nervous, but he tries to act cool and nonchalant.
Now let's discuss the 3 versions of the reunion scene. First, we have the original telling from the novel itself, we have the 1974 film adaptation, and we have the 2013 film adaptation. The similarities between the 3 works are plentiful and hard to ignore. F. Scott Fitzgerald makes it a point to use colors and their symbols. The colors in this reunion scene are prominent. Luckily, the filmmakers of both movies decided to stay consistent with the author's initial descriptions. Nick's reaction to Gatsby and Daisy's encounter stayed steady throughout the book and 2 movies.
On page 85, Fitzgerald writes, Daisy's face, tipped sideways beneath a 3-cornered lavender hat, looked out at me with a bright, ecstatic smile. Sure enough, there are the 2 movie Daisies wearing a great pastel purple hat. We also noticed this with Gatsby's attire as well. Gatsby, in a white flannel suit, silver shirt, and gold-colored tie, hurried in. Leonardo DiCaprio's and Robert Redford's wardrobes matched the novel's description perfectly. Fitzgerald didn't just put these colors in for no reason. They hold a purpose and symbolize. For instance, Daisy is portrayed wearing a light, innocent, jovial color. This shadows her mood and current attitude. Gatsby is decked out in silver and gold, hues that signify wealth and power.
At the beginning of the scene, before Daisy arrives, Gatsby is nervous and acts juvenile.
"Nobody's coming to tea!" Gatsby exclaims. "It's too late!" Nick coolly remarks, "Don't be silly, it's just 2 minutes to 4. A pause. It endured horribly. I had nothing to do in the hall, so I went into the room.
As many strenuously awkward moments pass, Gatsby follows Nick into the kitchen, leaving Daisy completely alone. This is when Nick has to talk Gatsby off the ledge, if you will.
Oh, God!
What's the matter?
This is a terrible mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake.
You're just embarrassed, that's all. Daisy's embarrassed too.
She's embarrassed?
Just as much as you are.
Don't talk so loud.
You're acting like a little boy. And not only that, but you're rude. Daisy's sitting in there all alone.
Both Sam Waterston and Tobey Maguire portrayed Nick as feeling odd and awkward, just as Fitzgerald described in his book.
In the novel, there's more of an emphasis on the gloomy weather.
Once more, it was pouring, and my irregular lawn, well shaved by Gatsby's gardener, abounded in small, muddy swamps and prehistoric marshes. The rain cooled about 3:30 to a damp mist, through which occasional thin drops swam like dew.
It continues to rain, and it stops conveniently when things start loosening up between Gatsby and Daisy. I do believe the sudden change in weather was deliberate, the rain symbolizing the physical and emotional tension, and the sun representing how Daisy and Gatsby started to naturally relax around each other. Unfortunately, the movies didn't focus on the rain as much as the novel did, which made the symbolism kind of unclear. All in all, the 3 versions of The Great Gatsby shared similarities and differences that were essential to the story in its entirety. Goodbye, old sport.